Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Church of the Palms. Great to see you all again for the next installment of Music Mondays. Today is going to be great because we're taking a trip down to the Caribbean. I'm so glad to see that the sun has at least returned to Sarasota. I thought the whole month was going to be a washout with all that gray, rainy stuff, but thank God we have that. And so we're really going to take a trip into the warmer climates with the music you're going to hear today, featuring this instrument, the steel drums. Just a couple of quick announcements. First, there will be coffee today. I know there was an issue last week. It was a holiday. It was the Martin Luther King Day, so as well as our inauguration day for the president. So they didn't have staff on hand to do the coffee last week. They're so sorry that happened. But I am assured that in the courtyard today, under the great oak tree, there will be coffee starting at 11:30. So please help yourself to coffee following the program. And again, the Jay Johnson lecture in this space on February 6th is at 3:30. Please pick up free tickets. If you're a seasoned subscriber, you can get free tickets today and next Monday. They won't be available after Monday next week. And we look forward to seeing you all here. I'm told there are very few tickets left. We're almost at capacity, which is roughly 950 in this hall. So please take advantage of that. We look forward to seeing you all here for that fabulous, interesting discussion on what's next for American democracy. Today's guest comes from Orlando, but he's originally from Montego Bay, Jamaica. And we're thrilled to feature the artistry of Ravon Rhoden, and I know he's here somewhere. Oh, here he is, okay. But we're gonna invite him up, and he's gonna delight us with a piece of music, and then we'll get the chance to talk to him and learn all about this instrument and his illustrious career. Ravon, it's all yours.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning. What? He's so happy to be here. So, I didn't know it was going to be this warm. So, yeah, my name is Ravon. Everybody calls me Steely. I don't know why they call me Steely. But they've been calling me that ever since I was living in Montego Bay. And I'm so happy to be here from Orlando to serving a lot of places in Florida. And here's my latest spot in Sarasota, and it's beautiful. And thank you for coming out, and I'll be playing this song for you. It's called Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. Yeah, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds is by my doorstep, singing sweet songs. I hope I'm in the right key. Melodies pure and true, saying, here we go. This is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Sarasota, in this church now, I'm singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Let me hear a clap. I'm singing, don't worry about the thing. my message to you. Singing no word about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah! Don't worry now. Everything's gonna be alright. Thank you.
Ravon, great to have you here. Boy, this is going to be a delightful morning, I can tell. So, is it okay if I also call you Steely?
Absolutely.
Is that okay? Okay. Just want to make sure. They used to call me when I was at school Hammer Hands.
Hammer hands.
Yes, because I play the piano. Oh. Yeah, so Hammer Hands was my nickname.
Nice.
I'm
like
actually
that
shocked that I even admitted that in public. So, but anyway, great to have you here. So,
Thank you.
Steel drums. This is a pretty cool instrument that I think a lot of you have likely heard before. I mean, it's a very popular sound and all sorts of stuff, especially if you're on a cruise ship, for example. I mean, they usually have some steel drum performers, or when you arrive in a port in the Caribbean, somebody is playing the steel drums. But where do they actually come from?
These drums were invented in Trinidad and Tobago, and they are made out of oil barrels. If you ever get a chance to see my drum, you can still see the serial number of the original barrel that it was carrying oil in before it was turned into a steel drums by the people of Trinidad.
And so this is a 55-gallon drum that's been cut, right?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
and then formed into this instrument.
Yes.
Right. So how do you make pitch happen out of a steel drum top?
Yeah, it's a combination of it's a science to me. Now that I can see videos, I can track back on the process of making the steel drums. First, they got the drum, they cut it to the designated size, they put it over fire before they start in the sinking process, because fire melts the metal and makes it softer to be sunk. After they sink it into the bowl shape, they use a chisel to shape the notes out, and each note represents any other note, just like any other instruments, and it's now a fully chromatic instrument because it has all 12 notes of the scale, and it is perfectly tuned to the universal scale.
So are the names of the notes on the instrument? I mean, or is it just, it looks like there's nothing there. There's just a blank steel head.
Yeah, that's a great question. When I began learning the steel drums, we had to use white tape and a marker to highlight the notes C, D, E, F, G, and so we could memorize it. But for me, it took me a year to get used to the scales, and after a year, I just tore the tape out. Some people quicker, some people a little longer, but we definitely marked the notes in the
So
beginning.
does each steel drum have the same location for the notes, or are they different?
That's another great question. So the steel drum is the steel pan. It's a family. You have different style of drums, just like the string family. You have the cello, and you have the viola and the violin. So just like the steel drums, you have the tenor, which is a single drum, the double tenor, which is 2 tenor drums. My drum is called the double seconds, and it has a formation that all double seconds following this one is the same formation. So I could go literally play another set of double seconds elsewhere because it's a universal pattern for the family of the steel drums.
And so how are the notes shown on the drum itself? I mean, once you take the tape off, how do you know where the note is?
So that's another great question. This guy. Yeah, so I play by ear, so that helped me a lot. And also memorizing where the notes were, it helped me to realize where they are. Plus, we started by playing scales. And by memorizing the scales, memorizing the notes, and memorizing the pattern of the drum, a lot of people think it's random. The notes are random, especially when I'm playing. It's like, but it's not random. There's a pattern that I'm following that guides me, just like the fingering of a guitar or the fingering of a piano that guides you. So does the steel drum.
But if I understand correctly, the head of the steel drum. I mean, all the notes are oval shaped, right? They're kind of roundish,
Yeah,
right?
pretty
So
much.
that's sort of the indent. It looks a little bit like like a reptile skin,
Yes.
right? With all that, so that helps you. So does it change the sound depending upon where you play it within that circle, or is it always the same?
Yeah, for dynamics, if I want to get the best out of the note, I would hit the center of the note. A little less dynamic if you hit the edge of the note. So I keep it personally in the center because I like to play dynamically. And the drums do go out of tune after playing like that over time. For my playing, it takes about 6 to 8 months before I need another tuning.
So do you have to send them out for tuning? I mean, does somebody have to rebang them or something? Or
Rebang.
yeah, well,
Absolutely.
I don't know what the correct terminology is.
Yeah, I
You're
agree.
here to help us.
I agree, yes. So I get a guy, actually I have somebody, he's flying out of Ohio, he's coming in 2 days to come rebang my drums. And he's gonna,
That's the term. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that was my guess. Wait, did you say he's flying in from Ohio?
yes.
So they have steel drum tuners in Ohio?
Absolutely.
There's no one around here that does tuning of steel drums?
Right, there's a few that are in Florida, but they also travel too. And sometimes they're hard to get a hold of because the steel pan community is very huge around the world, and the guys who tunes them are called tuners, and the guys who plays them are called the steel drum players. And tuners travel all around, and they come to one spot, and wherever the steel drummers are in that state, they will go where he is. Hundreds of drums lined out for him to be tuning. It takes him days and days. So I can send him out, and I can also, what if I fly him to my own home? All the steel drummers come to my home just to get their drums tuned because the guy is there tuning.
So then you get a conflagration of steel drums. Okay. Do you all play together? I mean, if you came together like that and he's tuning, do you all play together? Just sort of jam or something like that?
Usually there's a jam, so he could really blend the notes in case if he missed the one, he could hear it while we jam, and he could take that one down and readjust it real quick.
So and the adjusting literally is just as easy as banging it.
Yes.
Right? They don't have. Do they have to heat it up again to make it warm or soft in order to, or just bang?
No, the heat process was taking some of the steel content out of the metal so you can have a better ring. So after that process, in the beginning, you wouldn't need to reheat it. You just have different size hammers. If it's just a minor adjustment, you just use a smaller hammer.
So the original instrument, which is, this instrument comes about in the 20th century, roughly 40s, isn't it? 1930s?
Late 40s.
Late 40s, right?
Going
That's
into the 50s.
or so, yeah. And they literally used the washed up steel drums on the shore, right? So they were 55 drum barrels they cut off and did the whole, but they don't do that now. I mean, this is manufactured, isn't it?
They still do. This is actually one of them. It's a chrome
So
finish.
wait a minute, hey, let's ask it. So this instrument had oil in it before it was turned into an instrument?
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, so the chrome finish is what you're seeing. Sometimes it's a little less shiny in the beginning process. It gets really black due to the heat and the flame and all that stuff. And there's a whole process of getting it back after tempering it, burning the steel out. That's the last process. He gives it a first tuning, and he sends it to the chrome shop. A few weeks, it comes back. It gives it a final tuning, and then he boxed it to ship it out.
Wow. All right, so you are not only a steel drum performer, and we'll talk about that term, because that term is actually a misnomer, because this is not a drum whatsoever. But you're also a composer. You've written and arranged some things.
Yes.
Yes, and so the next thing you're going to play is one of your original compositions.
Yes.
Right? So tell us about it.
So this next song is called Where Is the Love? It's an unreleased song. I will be releasing it on my new album in February. And it's a vocal track. You won't hear the production because it's on a MP3 and I'm playing acoustic today. So it's really a message to you, and it's a song that I've written a year ago, and I'm excited to share it with you guys.
Excellent.
All right.
So, go ahead. So this is then the Sarasota premiere of Where Is the Love by Steely Rhoden.
Yes, Sarasota premiere. Yeah, I like that. I'm so excited about that. Is it too late for us to turn it all around? It's hard to keep up when the world is upside down, and people will judge you through you come from a certain town. Life could be great if we spread more love around. Oh, where is the love? Where has the love gone, my sisters? Where is the love? Where has the love gone? Brothers, show me, where is the love? Where has the love gone? Where is the love? Where is the love? Oh, yeah. We should be grateful for the beauty all around, instead of being hateful and tearing each other down. The world is ours, earth is our mother. No walls, no borders, freedom we rather. I would like to see you as my sister or my brother. Eh. To the bridge, sing about love all over the world. To every boy and every girl, every corner where you turn. Whoa, sing about love all over the place. We do it for the human race, with a smile upon our face. And love is the key. I hope you find it for yourself, and you can be free. Let me tell you something else, yeah. Whenever you see someone lost down in their sorrows, show some love and see all God's blessing that will follow. Oh, where is the love? Where has the love gone, my sisters? Where is the love? Where has the love gone? Yeah, man, that one is called Where's the Love? Thank you.
What a beautiful message, because, you know, I mean, we are all in this together, right? This
Absolutely.
great experiment of life. I mean, we're just, you know, brothers and sisters, and frankly, we should just all be loving each other as opposed to
Absolutely.
what frequently happens. So you said this recording is coming out next month, correct?
Yes.
Oh, great. Will it be available that people can purchase it? You know, or
Yes.
Yep.
It will
Okay.
be available. It will be on all platforms that you can search up, and I'll make sure you guys hear it if you look for it.
So, well, again, you know, we post all of the repertoire that the artists are performing. So I'll put in you'll give me a link that I can share with them. Yes. Okay, perfect. So, what? This one? Okay, all right. So, let's talk about your background first. All right. So you're born in Jamaica, correct?
Yes.
So what led you to this instrument in the first place?
I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Um, when I was 12, my neighbor, I realized my neighbor had a steel drum band next door, and every Sunday after church, they would practice, and they would play all kinds of songs, all the songs you'd hear on the radio. If they're not playing it in reggae style, they're playing it calypso style. And I really liked the sound, and pretty much most of the neighborhood like when they play, because they play really well. I can't remember what got me over there one particular Sunday, but I remember I was there, and watching them play, they took a break, and I went on the drum. Those drums were marked, and that was a sign they were teaching some other kids. So I went and I saw the board with the scales, and I was just following it. And I realized I picked up really well, and the teacher came in and he saw me, and he told me to come back. And that was the beginning of my start into playing steel drums.
So, but you hadn't taken any music lessons or anything prior to that? No, like piano or singing or something like that? You just wandered across the way, and that started your musical experience?
Yes.
Yes? Oh,
Yes.
that is great. So, in teaching the steel drum, right? So you had people were helping you, right, to learn this, and I'm assuming that you all were playing together, and
Yes.
it's sort of a masked drum experience. So the notes that are on that head, are they? I mean, because when you think about another instrument, I mean, they all go in a row. Like piano goes in a row, clarinets go in a row, violins go in a row. Do these follow that same thing where they march around the head of the drum in a certain order, or is it random?
It is in a certain order. At first, I didn't think so, though. I picked that up later on practicing, and the scales helped me practicing the scales. On the blackboard in the rehearsal room, they had all the scales, from C, all 12 scales, and I would run them through. Over time, I realized the drum had a pattern, and I realized that on my own. It is taught, but my teacher, we didn't get there. I figured that out, and so it's definitely on a path.
So in these lessons, are you learning just the instrument and how to play by ear, or do you actually look at printed music? I mean, is there music that's printed for this?
Yes.
Yes. So it's actually, there's printed scores. So I could learn how to play the steel drums.
Yes, people who sight read can sight read and play the steel drums. I don't know how to read because I played by ear. So when I was practicing those scales, I immediately recorded what a scale should sound like. I know what a major scale sounds like. To me, it sounded brighter, and the minor one sounds a little duller. And the formulas with getting a major and a minor scale was taught to me at a young age. So I kind of kept the formula for pretty much everything, and I never stopped practicing along that path. And it was really these, because I still don't know how to sight read, but it's definitely available for people to sight read without playing by ear on the steel drums.
So what led you then to move to the United States?
So the first time I left Jamaica to join a cruise ship to work as a steel drummer, and I played for 3 different cruise ships, and it took 6 to 7 years, almost 7 years I did doing different contracts on cruise ships, and during those contracts, most of the home ports were in America, whether it's Florida here or Tampa, Canaveral, sometimes Texas, even in California. I kind of grew a liking to America. Plus, being Jamaican, a lot of Jamaicans love America. So I really love this country. And from a longer time, maybe by overhearing the elders that taught us about their travels whenever they're in America, the stuff they do, the stuff they see, kind of inspired me from a younger age to kind of aspire to want to just go somewhere else where I can spread my wings more wider. So that's what got me in America.
And did you choose Orlando? Because that's where you live, right?
Yes.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
Orlando's like the entertainment capital of Florida, so it sort of makes sense,
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Orlando struck me as that when I was working for Disney Cruise Lines. I did 3 years with Disney Cruise Lines, and every time I got out, Port Canaveral, the stuff I hear, there's some people that plays that are in Orlando encouraged me too regarding the move. And so I made my mind up to start there, and I'm happy so far.
So, what is it like playing with Mickey Mouse?
Just like that. I can't undo it no more.
Yeah, I'm about to say, having done it for so many years, it's probably ingrained in your bones. So, and Canaveral, I don't know if you all know that, but Port Canaveral is probably one of the better ports that we have here in the state of Florida, right? And it's very close to Orlando. It's not maybe half hour away or so.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
It's not far from me, but so I've heard.
Yes. So, but you went out of Port Canaveral, correct, on the Disney, because isn't that where the Disney cruises take off?
Yes.
And so are you still doing any cruises at all, or is it all now related to just being in Orlando?
Yeah, so since 2017, I kind of gave the cruise ships a break. And so now I haven't given up on it because I really enjoyed my time playing on the ships. It really took me from here to here, performance-wise, because now I have to be so much more sharp than being in a laid-back Jamaica. I have to be so much more sharp, and it really got me prepared. So I haven't given up. I might go back someday, but for now, I'm settled here with you guys on land.
Yes. So, well, we're delighted you're here. And we referred to this as actually technically not a drum. That's really, the technical term for this is a steel pan.
Yes.
Because a drum is a head, and the head is what makes the sound, right, as you hit on it. In this instrument, it's the entire instrument that makes the sound. That's what differentiates it from a drum, and why they call it a steel pan. And you technically are a panist.
Yes.
Right? A panist. Not pianist, panist. And
he's good. He's good.
Well, I kind of studied up on this because it was so unique and unusual. I wanted to make sure that I knew some of these things before we did it.
Amazing,
but
man.
but the history of it actually goes back farther in history than the 1930s.
Yes, they were hidden on bamboos first in the island. So if you check Jamaica, we're playing the kumina and the mento, and it's deeply rooted in the African ancestry that the ancestors brought over here, and they kept teaching us that over the years. And so every island has a little twist to it, except for Trinidad. It wasn't just the bamboos anymore. It wasn't just their drums that they were hitting. They really changed the game by inventing a whole new instrument, which still remains as the most recent instrument to the world as a universal instrument. Means it's not like a limited instrument, limited in notes. It's a full chromatic instrument, meaning you could play anything you really want because you can play with anybody, any instrument, anywhere, anytime, without power. Trinidadians did that, so they kind of changed the game. It's kind of like Jamaica inventing a new genre, reggae music. Trinidad stands up there by inventing the steel drums, and blows my mind every day.
So the history then goes back, not only to 18th century Caribbean. I mean, primarily, in Jamaica, Trinidad. I mean, this was happening, but it has its roots in Africa, where the drums were used as a mean of communication.
Yes.
Right? So they could talk back and forth, and even using pitches and they like to designate certain things.
Yes.
And so it was that culture that was imported into the Western Hemisphere.
Yes.
Sadly, by the way of slavery, but that nonetheless brought us this rich tradition, and that's how we were able to, African Africans who were in the Caribbean were able to develop this instrument, over time. So since it was invented in Trinidad, and you're from Jamaica, right? So your influences are more Bob Marley, reggae style, stuff like that. But the original style for this instrument is not that.
It's not that.
What is it?
Calypso.
So you're gonna do a little calypso for us, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes, to show off, where the roots of this instrument and what it sounded like back in the 40s.
It's an honor. All right. So, it's an honor. I was gonna play something else, but then someone in the crowd, she's from Trinidad, and she ran up to me and gave me a huge hug. I'm like, who's this lady? She don't even know me. She's like, I'm Trini, and you're gonna play a Trinidadian song. I did this. So, this one is called Pan in A minor. It's a very popular steel pan song. It's recorded and it has steel drums in it, and it's by Lord Kitchener. And here's my rendition of Pan in A minor. Anyways.
No, stay there.
Thank you.
So I know you all are looking at these and seeing these things. You need to see what's going on behind the scenes. Can we turn this around?
Yeah. They want to see, huh? They want to see.
So it's not only the, you're missing, I think I'm getting the best show today. You're not only missing his technique, and playing and stuff like that, it's the hips that are going along with it too. So can you do just a portion of that last piece, like the last half of it or something like that, and just get into that and have fun.
Yeah, Joe likes the action,
So from Beethoven to Mozart to the Star-Spangled Banner. Goodness.
Okay, I will keep the drums this way. I like it better like that.
What a hoot. So, but it really is quite, it's remarkable what the technique, and you surprised me. I didn't know you were going to play with 4 sticks, How many sticks can you play with?
4.
Just 4, okay.
4 the most.
Yeah. So it's not just a double, 2 sticks. You can play with 4, like a xylophone or marimba.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So can you play a xylophone or marimba?
No.
Out of curiosity, because that's differently laid out and it's same technique.
Yes.
Yes, and so what are the sticks made of?
These sticks, it can be made of wood, but the ones I'm using right now, they're made of hollow aluminum. So it's kind of light, and it's got a rubber on the tip. And you'll see it immediately if you... It's aluminum, and it's got a rubber tip. Just a little grip on the end so it doesn't slip from my sweaty fingers. But other than that, it's pretty light. And those are my favorites too. The aluminum styles, because they don't keep sweat and disintegrate. They last however long.
So do they make them also out of other, like bamboo? Would they make them out of bamboo or?
They used to make them out of bamboo, but you can find maybe pine wood or a little heavier wood like a maho. It has different weights. But definitely, most you'd find is wood or aluminum.
So what do they make them out of in Jamaica?
Same, but you'd find more wooden mallets there. Yeah, and if you'd order aluminum mallets, then you can have some there.
So for a steel pan player, a panist, right? What typically do you do? Do you do like specialty events or performances or like the tour you did last year? Talk a little bit about that, because you're up in Michigan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a variety of folks who are here from Michigan.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yes.
Oh.
Did you hear him last year? He was there in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd have to invite you guys this year. I'll be back this year.
Are you going to go back to Michigan?
Yes.
What cities are you going to be in?
We in Hart, Ludington, Silver Lake, Harbor Springs, Muskegon, Mackinac Island. I really love it there, by the way. It's Michigan. Yes. So I'll be in a few cities there, Northwest, to be exact, Northwest Michigan.
So is it just you, or is there a group of people that you take with you?
It's just me.
Just you? But you do perform with some other people, correct?
I do have a band as well. We mostly perform my reggae sets, like the song I play, "Where's the Love." I'll be on vocals mostly, and I have a whole band backing me. Kind of like a Bob Marley kind of style, except it's the steel drums instead of the guitar, and no locks, but pretty much the same kind of vibration musically.
So we're going to hear another piece that's one of your compositions, right? Aren't you going to play Conscious Eve?
Oh, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So would you rather play this way or facing forward?
Facing forward, because I don't want these people to copy the notes. Know that they know.
Wow, there's a copyright issue. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, intellectual property is important. That's true.
Yeah.
So-
Know that they know that you can just listen to steel drum by ear and just, no way.
All right, wait a minute. We need to ask the question. How many of you out here are steel drum performers? Oh, we have a hand up here over here. Have you really played? Yes. Oh.
Oh.
All right, hold that thought. We'll get back
Wow.
to you in a second. All right, so let's. Sorry, we had to confer about something. So we're first going to hear Conscious Eve, and we're going to turn it around, right? Do you need any help?
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the original composition by Steely Rhoden. And again, we're turning this around so no one, especially you from, from Michigan, can copy it. But don't get too settled, because we're gonna invite you up in just a second. Yeah, now no one's ever going to volunteer again.
All right. Also unreleased, only because I'm waiting on the tuner and he's coming in 2 days. Once he tunes my drum, by Saturday I'm in the studio. So here's the song. What a treat today. For me and for you, because you guys are amazing. This one is called Conscious Eve. Whatever that means, it means Conscious Eve. Oh, it's called Conscious Eve.
So Conscious Eve, so is that supposed to be evening, or is that Conscious Eve the person?
The name just struck me. And so I leave it. Some songs, the listener interprets it for you when they hear it, and they tell you their take on it when they hear it. And you're like, what? I didn't write it about that. But I like that take.
Well,
And
I'll offer you something else right now, and that is to make you think. Is this before or after the apple?
He likes Eve the person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You all know that. I mean, I am a preacher's kid, and I am full of all sorts of
Yes. That's a good one.
spunk like that. So I think we need to invite our friend up here for a second. Yes.
Yeah.
We're not going to put you on the spot, trust me. Not much. You need help getting up the... So you're from Michigan,
Yes.
understand? And your name is?
Irene Hensinger.
Irene. Well, thank you for being a willing guinea pig, you know. There's nothing like being voluntold something, you know. So this is incredible. You have, can you bring that other microphone over? So you have this experience of working with steel drums.
Yes, and I'm happy to share that story in the hopes that you won't ask me to play, and I just listened to the story. But I, for many years, was principal of an public elementary school in Saginaw, Michigan. It was a school that had a heavy emphasis on the arts. It was a school for advanced learners called the Center for Creativity. And so we had a xylophone band, and we had a number of performing vocal groups and a piano lab we started. And I've always been interested in the steel drums. We received an award from the state of Michigan, and I thought, you know, I think we ought to have a steel drum band. Fortunately, I had a parent who was a music teacher in another school district, and he told me, I know how to teach steel drums. I said, wonderful. I'll get steel drums, and you'll be the teacher. Well, we had them built in Trinidad, and it cost a lot of money. It took a long time for them to come. And by that time, of course, my music teacher had moved.
So you became the de facto teacher.
Well, no, but what I had then was steel drums and no teacher. So after having a teacher and no steel drums. So time went on, and I found another teacher who started. We did it with 4th graders and 5th graders. That was the highest grade that we had. We had 10 to 15 kids that worked with the steel drums. We had a whole group of steel drums, not just the tenors like this. And then there was a kind of a chorus, the engine room in the back, and they played xylophones and, not xylophones, but tambourines and rhythm instruments. And they played all over the city. A number of those students, again, this was in 2000, so 25, 30 years ago, a number of those students went on to major in music. They bought their own pans. And again, as public school, I don't know how many of you are involved in public education, but things change and funding changed, and those pans and the COVID, and then I became principal of a high school, and I found a teacher and brought those pans to the high school. They are now part of our Symphony Orchestra Association.
And which town is this in?
Saginaw, Michigan.
Are you going to Saginaw this year?
No.
Why not?
But
He needs to
Right.
come to Saginaw.
Good question.
I'll be passing by. So if we can make a connection, it's possible.
I'm sorry?
He'll be passing by Saginaw so he can make the connection.
Please do.
How about
that?
Absolutely.
So you never know who's going to show up at Music
Yeah.
Mondays,
Yeah,
right?
it's-
So,
So it's now a community-wide band with students, and the teacher is one of those kids we had in the 4th grade.
oh. So, out of curiosity, does this look the same as the instrument that you have?
Yes,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
there is some similarities in the.
Yeah, ours weren't shiny like this. They were navy blue on the outside.
Oh no, those aren't in a row. Oh gosh, that would confuse me. And yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Anyway, thank you so much for coming up. All right, there's
Thank
a
you.
handrail here. That might be. How about a great hand for? So make sure you come up afterwards and talk to Steely to get the contact information, all right? So you can do this, all right? So now you're going to play it. What's that? Is there another steel drum player here? Okay, all right. This is not a national emergency, but I need to let you know that as you are preparing to leave, we can't use the doors now back here because I think they're laying asphalt or they're doing something back there. So that was a surprise to all of us. We didn't know that was happening. So we'll just have to leave through the side doors, right? So in case of an emergency landing, there we go. And you can use your seat as a flotational device. Yeah, and coffee is going to be over there. So if you want to head that way, that's the best way to go. Oh, I see the trucks out there now. Yes, okay. All right, so Steely, back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so you're going to do it. Oh, okay. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you want to set it up?
Yeah.
All yours. I love the fact that you call this a banana boat song.
Yes, yeah, man. You know, yes, the banana boat, big thing in the Caribbean. Banana boat. One day, let's see if you know this song. Deho. Hope I'm in the right key. Let's try it. Lali 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 lali. Day, he's a day, he's a day, he's a day. Oh, daylight come and me wanna go home. Hey, that's my favorite note. It's a low F. If you need to hit a low F vocally, don't eat anything in the morning. Drink a little bit of water. Sing 3 songs. Don't drink no water in between. And then. Pack banana still morning come. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Pack banana still morning come. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me bananas. Daylight come and me wanna go. It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. 6 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. A beautiful bunch of ripe banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Hide that deadly black tarantula. Daylight come and me wanna go home. It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Daylight come and me wanna. Day, he's a day, he's a day, he's a day. 7-foot, 8-foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. 6-foot, 7-foot, 8-foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Wow!
So I think the best thing to do right now is for me to leave the stage, and you could just do whatever you want for the next 20 minutes.
Funny.
So you'll be in Michigan this summer, correct?
Yes.
All right, so on the sheet that if you go to the website, I'll put in his website, and you have the information about that trip.
Yes.
Coming up, right?
Yes.
So you'll be able to see the future plans. And if anybody's ever in Orlando, where would they come hear you play?
Also, via the website, I put the local venues there under the events. You'll see the venues where I'm at, whether it's a restaurant or I'm having a festival somewhere in a live venue. Maybe it's a ticketed event. If you want an island paradise getaway or hear me with the band, you can also find it via the website or any of my social medias, which is under my name, Ravon Steely Rhoden.
So are there Jamaican restaurants in Orlando area?
A few.
A few? We don't have any here.
What the?
I know. Tell me about it. We only have a good Puerto Rican one, so.
All right.
Yeah, but Jamaican food. I mean, that's the jerk food, right? Chicken jerk.
It's a variety of stuff. We have a few. We have jerk chicken, which that's the most popular.
But somehow I feel when you're playing these drums, I feel like I should have a pina colada in my hand.
What?
Right. Or some good Jamaican rum, you know?
Ooh.
Yes, okay. So you're going to treat us to another Bob Marley tune, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Love to hear, because you started out with Bob Marley, so we might as well get back to your roots with reggae and Bob Marley.
I like that.
You like that? So this is going to be, is this One Love? Is that what you're going to play?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. This one is called One Love. One Love. Boy, people get ready, 'cause the train is coming. Don't need no tickets, just get on board. Whoa, no hurry, when the diesel are humming, people get ready to thank the Lord. Curtis Mayfield. So this song, Bob Marley, One Love, if you look at the title, it says One Love / People Get Ready. It says 2 songs combined. And the second verse of Curtis Mayfield's songs, People Get Ready because the train is coming, was used on Bob Marley's song, One Love. And he used that verse as the second verse of the One Love song. So it's a combination of 2 songs that made that Bob Marley hit song, which goes like this. Ba-da-ba-da-be-dum. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright, boy. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let them all pass on their dirty remarks. There is one question I really love to ask. Is there a place for those hopeless sinners who had hurt all mankind just to save his own. Oh yeah. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One say, let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there won't be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Sing this one. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, and give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright.
Steely, thank you so much for being here. This has really been a great delight. We're going to open it up to some questions from the audience.
Okay.
Okay? See if anybody has. Yes, right here. All right, so are there any soft and soulful songs that are associated with the steel drums, or are the steel drums always kind of electric and rhythmic and stuff?
That's a good question. And yes, there are some soft, soulful songs, actually many, that could be played on the steel drums. Sounds like she wants to hear something like that.
Okay, maybe we'll do it in a second. Okay, yeah. So yes, back here. I think there are two parts to this question. So are there, you've already said to this one point that there are, the question is about printed music for the steel drums, for the steel pan. So the pieces that you have played that are like the Bob Marley, I mean, are those your own arrangements of them, or are they written down?
Yeah, this performance here was pretty much improvisation. But for your question, whatever I played, it could be written out to the exact style I played, and you would be able to play it. It's transcribing it.
Right, and your own piece is the same thing. They're not written down. That's all your creation.
Yes, but they can be written out and transcribed for the reader.
Be. So they could be. That's the question. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm hearing two questions. I have one right here first. Sorry. Go ahead. Does it affect the sound when you put your foot up on the stand?
I think that's just a grip holder, a comfort thing for me, for
Support.
my performance. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, back here. Sorry. What's the difference between reggae and calypso? That's a good question.
Wow. So I identify a genre by the bass and the drum, because those instruments are what really carry the genre for what it is. And for calypso, the emphasis is more on the 1, 2, 1, 2. And the reggae, the emphasis is on the 3. And the 4 says 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. So it's a little delayed. It's a step each way of the four beat bar. The calypso goes on 1 and 3, and the reggae beat falls on 2 and 4. When you listen to the emphasis. And to me, and usually the tempo of the calypso is a little bit more upbeat, because the message of the songs are usually a more festive beat. So it requires a more up-tempo versus the reggae, which is more relaxed. speaks about love and finding yourself or getting yourself right. So
I
that's the
think-
difference.
Doesn't calypso, we associate it with carnival, don't we? Carnival music, basically the carnival
Yeah.
that occurs in,
Yeah, in
which
Trinidad,
originated in Trinidad, correct?
yeah, they have the carnival there, and they play pretty much their music, which is the calypso. They're very heavy on it. You can even find popular American music being transcribed in calypso style. So it really means a lot to them. It sounds great on the steel drums. The musicians there have a fast track mind to play music in the calypso way. So I kind of like the calypso playing and the tempo of it.
Another question. Yes, ma'am. Have you had a chance to play with other groups like a orchestra or band or something like that?
I've never played with a phonic group, but I've played with many bands before.
And just as a point of interest, if you go back in history, and I think it's in the 50s that this, maybe the 60s, this happened. There was a steel band, a steel drum band that performed with Liberace, and there's a recording of them together. Seriously, yes, yes, ma'am. Do you play any reggaeton? Ooh.
I do occasionally. It's usually when I'm gigging out in the public and I get it as a request. So I try to equip myself as a musician, listen to the radio, listen to the latest stuff that everybody listens to, so I can always keep current with what they would like me to perform. So yes, I play a few reggaeton songs.
Any other questions? Yes, sir, right here. Okay. So how many octaves are in the steel drums?
Yeah, the note, it goes up to 3 octaves, but not every note has 3 octaves. Could I show them?
Sure.
Just by sound? Yeah. So most of the notes has 3 octaves. This is a C. It's like the piano, low C and middle C and high C. But then you go over to D, I only have 2 octaves. It don't go to the high D. And the steel drum has 32 notes combined, so 16 over here and 16 over here, all with octaves. This is G, A, B. And your next question, when I was using double mallets, I never used 2 mallets on one note like that, but I rather accompany the note with the chord. So 1 and 1, or so yeah, man. It's a good question.
Yes, sir. So these are referred to as tenor drums, correct? And are there other size drums?
Yeah, these aren't really tenors. So in the family of steel drums, you have the single drum. You notice by seeing how many drums the person is playing. So if you ever see a guy with just one drum, it has these 16 notes here is all over this one. The notes are much smaller than mine, and you have a higher tone. And those tenor drums is a single usually, and it's usually the lead in the steel orchestra. These drums are called the double seconds. These are little more heavy on tone. The notes are bigger, and it goes a few notes lower than the tenor could, and the tenor goes a few notes higher than this would go. The bigger drums, the skirting, like the tenor drum, this is the skirting. The tenor drum skirting is much shorter to accommodate the tone that it lets out. And for the double seconds is this size. You have the double guitar, has more bigger notes than this, same pattern, but the skirting is a little longer. And for the bass drums, it's a 6 of them. So instead of 2, you have 6 steel drums, full skirt, all the way down. They stand flat, and they surround the player. And each drum has like 3 or 4 huge bass notes. Boom, boom, boom. which means you need another 6 to accommodate the rest of the notes.
Wow. So, Steely, while you're over there, we might as well finish up with a little performance. You promised something that's soft. So does the Leonard Cohen, that does it, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay. So, again, we want to thank Steely Rhoden for coming all the way from Orlando. Entertaining us all about the steel drums and providing all sorts of useful information, things I didn't even know. And next week, we're featuring a 17-year-old cellist who's local in the area. Matrick Thorpe is his name. He's quite a sensation. He performs standing up. So, and he even has his own TED Talk. So, pretty brilliant kid from Pineview High School. And again, thanks to the folks here at Church of the Palms. So sorry about everybody is really apologetic about this going on out front, but they just need to do what they're doing. So, what are you going to play for us?
So this one is special, something soft, and this is one of my favorite tracks to play. This is the track that actually got me connected with my now manager whenever I go to tour in Michigan. This one is called Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, if you know that song. It's also on my first album. It's called Steel Pan with a Smile, and you can also get it from my website. And I'm going to play the exact way it is on the album. So if you like it, you know what to do. Ready, Joe? Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you.